back, guys, to another episode of the Higher Level Podcast. As you can see tonight, we've got quite a few people in. So joined to my left, as always, James Doolan, back in the show with us, and our two special guests tonight. We have Scottish Amateur Champion Reece McEwan, who'll be turning pro on the 15th of February, and sitting next to Reece is Stu Mac, who is the holder of the WBFF European Bodybuilding Championship.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
Two times.
Two times. Sorry, I've only given you credit for one.
Okay.
So yeah, we've got quite an interesting show tonight. We'll be talking MMA, bodybuilding, and probably the crossovers between the sports as well. So I think we'll start off by talking about the big fight we had at the weekend. Conor Cerrone, who stayed up all night for the fight?
I did.
Did you?
Actually, I fell asleep like 5 minutes before. See the last round of the home fight? I fell asleep then, and then I woke up just as the fight was about to start. I had to pause it, and I was like pure panicking, like I was going to sleep through. But ruined my day the next day.
So what did you think?
Pretty much exactly how I thought it was going to go. I think it was the way everybody kind of knew it was going to go. It looked sensational. I thought it was good. It was not even the actual performance. It was just nice having that buzz about fighting again. Like it's different for anybody else. And then he looked tremendous.
Do you think MD foreseen it? Do you think it was a mere surprising result in the Aldo one? Just the way it went with the shoulders, then obviously the head kick, then finishing it with punches in the ground?
Nah, I think everybody knew what was going to happen. I think it was just a matter of time before he caught him. I think maybe a lot of people are making a bit of a deal about the shoulder butts and stuff like that. He is creative, but he's always been creative. But the head kick was there, and then the punches, he's tremendous at finishing. Once he gets you hurt, you're in a bit of bother with him.
Just the build up to the fight, the look of Conor as well, compared to, well, obviously when you go back to the Khabib fight, it was just, there was a different feel about it this time, I felt anyway. I
think just with the whole, he was just respecting everybody, the whole atmosphere. It was not that, there was something nasty about the Khabib fight with the back and forth, and you could tell the two of them hated each other, and you could see what happened after the fight and stuff, whereas this one was more like it was proper martial artists giving each other enough respect, and it showed on the night. Like it was a test of who's got the best skill set, and Conor proved that it was him.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, although I think a few people would have been disappointed it went so quick after staying up so late. I think it was worth it. I know the card wasn't as strong as probably ones we've had previously, but I think it's safe to say.
There's good fights on it though. Like besides the co-main event, all the other fights were pretty interesting. I've not actually had a chance to watch all the fights yet, but you find that sometimes a card doesn't look the best, and then you watch it and there's fights that surprise you. There was so much at stake. Everybody was watching the guys, so they had a lot of reason to perform.
Yeah, and some of the guys that were on the card as well probably benefited, obviously, if he'd been on the same card as Conor, because he's blew the card up and won in spectacular fashion. Did you manage to catch the fight yourself, Stu?
I didn't, mate. I couldn't. I tried. I got to about 3:30 and I was done.
Well, at least did you watch the fight after the fight?
Yeah, first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Watched it about, was it 39 seconds?
It was. I think you could probably talk through the exact fight. There was a left. I think Cerrone might have threw one thing.
Threw like a right body kick, didn't he?
And then Conor went with the left. Cerrone went under. They clinched. I think there was like 4 shots in the shoulder. A kick and it was done.
I'm glad he's back though. Like James was saying, the buzz is back now.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it definitely had something. He's, without a shadow of a doubt, he's probably the biggest combat sports athlete in the world at the minute, not just in MMA. And obviously, as soon as the fight's done, everybody's talking about, well, Mayweather released something. I think he put a picture up with him and Conor for that fight too.
He knows what he's doing. He's got everybody talking about him, and McGregor just fought, didn't he? So
he knows how to make money as well.
Of course.
So that's the main thing. But who would you like to see Conor fight next?
I think it'll be Masvidal, Diaz, then Khabib in that order, unless he boxes. I'd just like to see him fight another 3 times this year. I don't really care who he fights, but I think if he's talking the truth and he cut corners in the camp for Khabib the first time and he's cut no corners this time, then there might be a different outcome if he fights Khabib again. But I'd like to see him fight again first, just to keep him in the gym and whatever else.
You think he fights Masvidal next? Do you think he stays at 170 for that fight? Or
yeah,
makes him cut.
I think he'll stay at 70 for that one. I'd like to see him drop back to 55 and fight Gaethje, but I think the Diaz fight's still there for him as well. I think he probably wants that as well. And then it'll be Khabib at some point once Khabib's done with Ramadan and stuff like that. He'll want that one back, I think.
Aye, definitely makes sense. That's probably the fight ultimately everybody wants to see, but there's a lot of fun fights out there for him. And what would you particularly like to see?
Anything. Anytime McGregor's involved in a fight, it's got everybody talking.
The Masvidal fight would be great.
I think so.
Two brawlers.
Aye, Masvidal now he's just Masvidal's fun.
I think long term, like I want to see him fight Khabib again, and I don't know. He's good at 170, but he's a small 170 pounder. So, and I don't think Masvidal's pretty thick as well.
Aye,
but it would be a good fight, but I don't know.
He's not really fighting true 170 pounders though, is he? I mean, He fought obviously Nate Diaz twice. Nate Diaz he has fought at 170, but predominantly he's 155. Masvidal's, he's obviously came from 155 up to 170. So there's tons of fun fights out there. It was a good weekend for the 40 seconds it lasted.
No, I know, totally. It's just what comes off the back of it.
Aye.
So much, like James said, like it's got people talking again.
Aye, that's it.
It's got the world talking. So
that's the main thing. It gets a lot of new fans looking at the sport and gets a lot of eyeballs on it, and it's fun watching the build-ups. You get a good laugh watching the countdowns.
I know.
The
good thing is as well, it was like genuine. It wasn't anything that was like put on. Like, you could tell with Mayweather or Khabib, it was just there was so much that you felt that you had to do and you had to say. Like, he didn't do that swagger and stuff. It was just a genuine, like, going into a fight, I'm going to fight and nothing else matters.
Although he's not daft, is he? He done a proper 12 promo in his post-fight interview that was longer than the fight.
Yeah, definitely.
Is he definitely no daft?
Well, there's something going on there, but good idea.
That's it. So Stu, obviously you're coming for the world of bodybuilding. It's a world I don't know too much about, so I'm intrigued to pick your brains a bit about it. One of the things you can see similarities with MMA and bodybuilding is what's the weight cutting aspect like in bodybuilding and getting your body prepared leading up to a show?
In respect to fighting, I'm not sure how much weight they cut, but in the last show I cut roughly 19 kilos in the top and the bottom.
Jesus. What sort of time period is that over that year?
About 13 weeks.
13 weeks.
Yeah.
And in terms of leading up to the actual, I'm just going back off memory, things I've seen mainly in the Joe Rogan podcast when they're talking about bodybuilding. Do you just cut a lot of water as well just to...
Yeah, I think the last couple of days are similar. So we cut water, we manipulate sodium, salt, carbs to try and reduce as much as we can.
So is that just to get it so the muscles show better?
Yeah, any water that's left between the skin and the muscle needs to go.
Yeah.
And then in the last couple of minutes, I think the fighters do the same thing, I'm not sure, but they carb after the weigh-ins.
The difference is they get 24 plus hours to go back up before they go, whereas you're probably walking it onto a stage to perform like that.
So how long did your body have to get to that? Because I mean, I'm assuming that doesn't feel great when you've cut your body down to that. I mean,
no, the last 3 weeks are just suffering, constant suffering, 24 hours a day.
And so is it just up until competition day, and then you can start obviously refueling yourself once everything's done?
Yeah, once the game's done, it's game over.
Do you need to make a weight, or do you need to make other things? Like, is it weight categories?
No
or
weight
size?
categories. This one, the next show, I've finished with the WBFF now, and the next one will be IFBB, and that's a weight class.
Right.
So for my height, it'll be maximum weight classes.
So is it just all use will enter that, and is it just based on weight alone or height or anything?
Weight and height, yeah.
Weight and height.
So for my class, I'll be maximum 99 kilos on stage.
What do you usually compete at?
I went on there at 92 and a half, so
it'll give you more.
I got a wee bit of game to go yet.
That's how long is it How long have you now been involved in bodybuilding, and what actually got you into it?
I don't know. My flatmate did it to begin with. It was one of these I look back in 20 years thing.
Right.
Say I did it, and it just kind of got a wee bit out of hand.
See, I kind of read something, I don't know if this is right, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, that were you at uni, was it maths you were studying, or and it was something to do, I think I'd read in an article that you'd looked through a magazine or something like that and thought, is that
yeah, I've lived many lives, but when I finished my degree, I went to work in a gym. I really wanted to work in a gym. I've always been into sport. I was a footballer to begin with. And then I just had the genetics for bodybuilding. So the bone structure, the muscle bellies, and everything just, I mean, there's only so much you can do as a bodybuilder.
Right.
But genetics will determine how far you can go in it.
Yeah. And obviously with fighters will train specifically for techniques and stuff like that. With yourselves, is it when you're training, you try to keep everything symmetrical as well? So like your arms, and how difficult is that to do, just to keep everything symmetrical?
It depends. Like obviously, if you get as lean as I get, then you can see the symmetry. But until the last 3 weeks, you can't. So you just got to hope for the best.
So you don't know if it's going to work out until the last 3 weeks?
Because I noticed in my last picture, I actually posted it on Instagram last night, asking for some help for some physios, but my right trap was way, way lower than my left.
So what would you do to address that then?
I've got to find out how it's happened first of all, and then go from there. So I've had a few physios email me, because WBFF is great. Make no mistake, the standard is high, but they didn't pick up on it.
Right.
But the IFBB will.
So
that's me marked down for that.
So is it just a higher standard of judging?
It's the highest you can get. It's the route to the Olympia.
Is there a say, obviously with judging in MMA, it's so all over the place.
Yeah.
In bodybuilding, do you kind of know what you're getting from the judges, or do you know what they're looking for?
I mean, it is somewhat subjective.
Yeah.
I suppose fighting is in the decisions, but
you get some the judges. It's supposed to be not subjective, but people are influenced by what they like to see, pretty much. So
it could be subconscious as well.
Yeah. Even they get affected by the noise of the crowd and stuff, or the crowd making noise when they think a shot's landed. A lot of shit like that can affect them. There is a legitimate scoring criteria, but it's hard for a lot of the guys to adhere to it. I think they just, if they're coming for a grappling background, they're going to score the grappling. It was a big problem before when the UFC brought in the athletic commissions and they were all coming for wrestling backgrounds. Guys were just getting a takedown line on top of people and winning fights, and it kind of killed the way the game was getting played for an extended period of time.
We've probably not found the best system either as well, because we are basically written off the 10 must system for boxing as well. It's probably something that we'll need to work on in the future. More judges probably is going to be helpful. They're
doing a good thing, like they're bringing some fighters in to judge fights, which is good because they've got a good knowledge of what they're watching.
See, that's with regards to referee. I think that's something that's definitely helpful. I think if you've been in there and experienced it in terms of you've competed and fought, I think you're in a better place to judge a fight.
Definitely.
With regards to judging in bodybuilding, is it former? So does that help then, having former bodybuilders judging?
Definitely helps. It's a lot fairer.
Aye.
Definitely.
And I saw, do you tan up and stuff like that as well?
I'm the palest person who's ever walked the earth, so I need no choice but to tan up.
So is it like you just tan for, I don't know if do you listen to Joe Rogan or stuff like that?
Yeah.
And they were discussing the tanning for the neck down, you know what I'm talking about?
You're like Joe Rogan, biggest salesman right now, aren't you?
Because I think he's saying he's like bodybuilding, you can get away with black body, and obviously you can't do black face and stuff like that. He was talking about Tropic Thunder. I thought it was quite.
Do you have what? Can you not have like fake tan everywhere?
No, you can. Yeah, of course. I can't leave my face white in my
so do you
brown.
but do some guys do that? Do some guys just go neck down?
I don't think so. I look daft.
Just for the
To be fair, I am only a Scottish person, so I don't know.
I was showing Craig, the producer, before it. I don't know if you've seen this video. So it was bringing me on to asking you about your diet, but there was a bodybuilder or a bodybuilding video. I think the guy must have been from the north of England, and he's talking about his diet.
Oh, the fish.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Rice cakes and fish all day.
You can't see anytime you just say, I'm having rice cakes or fish, you can't say that without somebody dropping that in. It's like,
it's the way he stops and he thinks, he goes, I'm having that's fish. And right, I'm assuming your diet is much a bit more varied than that.
A bit more, but the principles are the same.
So what diet, in terms of your diet, does the diet change obviously as you're getting closer to the competition?
Yeah, it changes as my results start to slow.
Right.
So I mean, I can on my bulking season I can go up to 6,500 calories, but on the lowest cut there, my coach didn't know, but I went right down to 1,400 calories.
Jesus.
With an hour and a half cardio and an hour and a half in the gym.
I mean that.
So the deficit of energy would have been probably well into the 5,000s.
Yeah, that's up.
Do you tend to just eat the same thing and then reduce your portions as the weeks go on?
I tend to eat the same thing. You just don't have time. You just don't have any energy to think because your brain power starts to fall away too.
could tell the enthusiasm there when you were discussing eating the same thing.
Some flashbacks.
What's talk us through, what's the sort of diet like then when you're getting to that tail end day, getting close to show
You're not
day?
allowed to say any fish or rice cakes.
No fish. I don't eat fish. Thank God.
No rice cakes then?
My diet's the exact same. I have porridge in the morning, 5 chicken meals, and then eggs at night.
Yeah.
Literally on repeat.
What kind of eggs you have?
Fried, always fried.
Never mix it up then, no?
You try to make it the most amount possible you can make
Aye.
in a plate. So usually actually, I take that back. I make an omelette. Because when you put it under the grill, it rises up and it looks like a lot.
You can put veg in that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Oh, there you
So
go.
it makes it very dense. Oh, it's dense.
See if anybody wants to learn how to cook, do it a weight cut. When you watch hundreds of cooking videos on how to
100%.
cook.
We actually discussed this. I think your thoughts on that were that's kind of psychotic doing that.
I was
Watching-
more that the guys watching the food
Aye,
channels,
the
wasn't
food
it?
Oh,
channel.
no, I don't
Watch
watch
it, yeah. I
Right.
watch the Man versus Food.
Well,
I feel
yeah.
like it can mentally strengthen you.
Oh God, that sounds like it would be met. Is it not a form of torture you're putting yourself through?
100%, yeah. Starving to death. But you need to get to a stage where someone puts something down in front of you that isn't something you really want.
Yeah, yeah.
And you go, no. Because envisaging what you're going toward, nothing can step in the way.
Yeah.
So I found that watching the food channels back in the day helped me.
And how difficult is it as well? Is something we talk to fighters a lot about when you're in that stage of effectively leading up to a show. How difficult is it in social situations and stuff like that? With people eating
And no, it's a bit cliche, the whole sacrifice your social life, but yeah, it's literally it. You just stop it.
Yeah.
You don't involve yourself in it, so there's no temptation at all.
So just take yourself completely out of the situation.
I'm not seeing my friends for 3 months. It doesn't bother me though.
What about you, Reece? Sort of same thing when you're going through that process of cutting weight and watching your diet. Do you do that? Do you take yourself away from social situations or?
If there's stuff, I don't. Well, you do, but see, even if you go out and you've got a party or you've got something, you just don't eat the food. It's as simple as that. See, if I'm around people anyway, I'm not going to go to a buffet and like munching the chips or the curry or that anyway. Even if I wasn't dieting or had a fight coming up, I just wouldn't do it. So you just create the good habits outside when you're training for a fight, and then it means you can participate in stuff and you don't need to go and drink and go and eat food. Because the bottom line is you can't have it anyway, so don't think about having it.
Do you think in a lot of younger fighters coming through now, it's getting a wee bit more professional even through the amateur ranks, where you're not having a training camp as such in terms of where guys are going into training camp, they're trying to get in shape and stuff like that. On the off season, are you trying to be clean, healthy all the way around, keep yourself fit?
You just try to make everything a routine. So it's just a matter of when you've got a fight, you're like, right, all I do is change the focus to a date, as opposed to I've got 6 weeks, I need to refurbish my life. Keep everything the same and keep a good routine everywhere, and then when a fight coming up, you've just got a date to focus on, and you just cut a wee couple of pounds in the lead up to it and fight someone, and that's it.
Presumably though, when you're not in competition, after a competition, is there a specific go-to food or something you go and treat yourself?
Oh yeah, I mean, man, this could go on for a while. I'm a sweet tooth, so
Right.
I will eat many desserts. I can gain I try not to, but I can gain 10, 12 kilos in
Just a
week.
Jesus.
It's unhealthy, but
I bet it feels good at the time, but it must feel pretty shitty after.
Yeah. Feels great. But, starving though, because obviously the hormone levels are all over the place, so you can eat 10, 15,000 calories in a day, no problem.
Yeah.
I think that, see, the harder your cut is, no matter what sport it is, the more your metabolism or anything to do with your insides. Sean Wright spoke about it on here when he done a weight cut, it just screwed his appetite and everything. As soon as you the more weight you cut, the more you're going to bounce up, and then your weight cuts are going to be harder, and it sounds really sad, but even if I never had a fight and I had the less calorie option, I would go for the less calorie option, because I'm going to be training the next day. All it does is make you feel rubbish.
You can do even. Do you remember that film Dallas Buyers Club?
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey killed himself for that film, and he sort of never looked the same after it. He's always looked like a shadow of himself because he cut so much weight.
And you'll see fighters fight, and they'll do big weight cuts, and they'll cut 5-6 kilos of water, and then the next day they're massive because their body's just soaked onto everything that they've they've given it.
Yeah.
So then what happens is they start fighting at a weight that they've not been at for months, and they'll be tired and they're not used to it and they can't adapt to it. You just keep everything like balanced, and you'll pop up to the weight that you should be at rather than the weight that you shouldn't.
I saw you're not constantly, especially leading up to a fight. Do you find now that you've been doing it more, your weight cuts, do you feel like you've got them down to a sort of, not a T, because I'm sure stuff can go wrong at any time, but do you feel you've got into a routine with them and it's getting relatively easy for you to make 135?
I feel like, well, not feel like every fight I'm getting a wee bit lighter, maybe, but even if it's like 0.3 of a pound, you're starting the fight camp lighter. Yeah. When you first start, when I first started cutting weight, it was like, right, the week before my 6 weeks, I'm going to go and eat something that I'm not going to have in the leads up to it. And then you would be 6 weeks out and you're like, I'm heavier than I've ever been because I just pigged out for that week. Yeah. And then I reduced that to a weekend, and then now it's just, I'll go out for dinner on the Saturday night before like 6 weeks, and then that'll be me, and I'll just keep that routine up. You
just been getting smarter about how you do things.
Totally, and the more you've got to cut, the more impacted your training is. So I kind of got to a point where I'm in between like weights and I know where I am, and if I have a week where I don't lose any weight, it's not a problem because I've gave myself such a bracket to work within, and like a safety net. So I'm not panicking about a number. I know that I can make weight next week if I needed to. I really needed to, but
it'll help you as well because it's letting you focus and just sharpening the skills and improving in areas, totally. Different facets of your games. So that's other side of the weight and that stuff isn't a worry. You can just focus on improving yourself as a martial artist.
I see, at the end of the day as well, it's just something to eat. Like, see, if you want a bar of chocolate, you can have a bar of chocolate. You just need to maybe, like, if you have a bar of chocolate, it might be like a breast of chicken or something like that. You just need to reduce it. Like, see, if you're desperate for a burger, make it homemade and make it with all the good nutrients, and don't go out for a Five Guys because it's going to be double the calories and what your homemade burger will be. You can't go out for dinner, and you can't go out for stuff that you don't know what's definitely in it. But see, other than that, like, it's not a hassle. You've got a result at the end of the day. So an outcome.
That's it. And the other thing I was interested actually with the bodybuilding side of things as well is when you've done all the work and you've got your body in the best condition it can be in, is it about working? Do you need to work in your poses, and does that all that stuff need to be practiced as well?
Oh yeah, that takes weeks of work.
How important is that? Just as important as the training that you have that so you get right?
It's an illusion at the end of the day. You show off your good points and you hide away your bad points.
Yeah.
If you show off your bad points, you're not winning. That's for sure. So,
and I saw obviously there's the videos with Arnie and was it Lou Ferrigno? There was a lot of psychology and Big Arnie obviously was pretty good at that. Does any of that sort of stuff still go on at competitions?
No,
is there
course,
a bit of
there's a little bit of argy-bargy backstage.
Any interesting stories you can tell us? What's the craziest thing you've seen at a show or been part of, possibly?
I've seen a boy try to yank down the other boy's pants on stage.
Really?
That's terrible, man.
Was it you?
No, it wasn't me. You're very malnourished. It's like you're packing heat in the stage.
Yeah, it's a pretty common thing. I think a lot of fighters say that as well. Is during a weight cut, when you're dehydrated and that, there's a lot of shrivelage goes on as well.
Mine's got bigger.
What's that?
Mine got bigger with weight cuts because my legs looked that skinny. So
it's obviously really competitive.
Yeah, there's a lot. Everyone wants the prize. It needs to be done.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying, right?
Yeah, the big Italian boy next to me on the stage kept on putting his hand in front of me. It's really annoying me, but it was obviously like there's cameras everywhere, so you can't do anything. But see, when you go to the back of the stage, just give him a wee dig in the kidneys, and he'll stop it.
Oh, because you're dried out.
Yes, well, just aim for the kidneys because he's right there. But then he apologised after. I was like, it's fine.
I've heard mad stories. Do you have like a bottle of wine before you go on stage or stuff like that?
You can find other ways to dehydrate. Everyone knows that drinking alcohol affects the hydration levels that they have.
Imagine being steaming, just
that's what I'm thinking then. You've just discussed about practice. Have you seen anybody doing that potentially drinking alcohol and then maybe messing their poses up?
I've seen girls and boys backstage, man, more than just alcohol. Their eyes are glued up wide. But there's a lot of nerves. You go in front of thousands of people, so. But the rules are, if you get caught, you're out the door. You get caught.
How strict are they in checking those things over alcohol?
They're always
stuff
looking. That's a lot of work
to
get undone at the last minute.
Yeah. Who's crazier backstage, the guys or the women?
The girls. I think I just sit there and mind my own business, listen to music,
Well, that's it.
and stress out.
Talk about like a healthy place. See a changing room in a fight show is the most unhealthy place in the world. There's chocolate bars and food
there's
everywhere. It'll be like
food
that
everywhere.
for years.
Everywhere. You have to really control your thinking, because if you stress, then obviously you can fill with water quite easily.
Yeah.
So you see the people who stress the most never look the best.
So have you got like a routine, just a mental routine you go through, just to, like you say, just listen to music and try and zone everything out?
Just shut off.
And do you find now that as you get more experience, you've been doing this longer, does it get easier, or
Yeah. You get to know the goalposts a lot more.
Yeah.
You get to know your competitors a lot more. You get to know your own body a lot more. I find I can suffer more than anyone else I compete against, so it makes me feel very powerful when it comes to these shows.
And for you in the sport of bodybuilding as well, you've obviously achieved a lot at the moment. What's your ultimate aspirations?
I want to go to the Olympia, ultimately, within the next 5 to 6 years.
How difficult is that to get to that level?
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
Has a Scottish person ever done it before?
No.
Or British?
And classic physique, no.
So some have done it out with.
I need to. The cut is hard, make no mistake. The suffering is high. But the bulking part's a lot harder, in my opinion.
When you look at pictures of yourself through show to show, do you see improvements in yourself every time? Do you feel like you're just improving each one, and that's why you're ultimately...
It's slow.
Yeah.
It's very slow.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of self-consciousness about it because you went from ripped to bulking?
Yeah, that's the mental aspect of bulking is difficult, because you're getting in technically in worse shape, aesthetically speaking, almost daily.
Yeah.
But the consumption of food is huge, and it's just you get to a stage where every single meal is forced.
So you try to keep meals down in that as well?
I mean, you're literally full as can be from the last one, and you're eating the next one. And there's 8 meals in the day. You sometimes have to set my alarm for 2 o'clock in the morning and 4:30 in the morning, and get up, have a shake, go back to sleep. It's horrible. Plus the weights you lift in the off season are huge too. So there's not a single moment where you don't have an injury of some form. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say in terms of the injury, because you're bulking in the sort of weight you're lifting. What's the most common injury or the worst injury you've had?
Probably the joints you use the most, so the elbows and the knees, and the shoulders. Definitely easiest. I've never really had a bad muscular injury, but these ones always get to do.
And is it just an accepted part of the sport that you're going to get injured, you're just going to have to work through the injury?
Yeah, if you injure your arm, you train your legs instead.
Yeah,
and vice versa. Just keep going.
That's it. It kind of sounds like fighters, and going through camps and that. There's always niggles and always training. And obviously, Reece, you're on because you've had a fantastic amateur career so far. You've won obviously the On Top title, Art of Combat title. You fought some really tough guys, and now that decision's came, which I'm glad you've made, because I've been looking forward to.
I know you've been on me for about 2 years. You going pro yet?
I know. I'm looking forward to you turning pro. So what ultimately, what switched? What made you change, or made you go into that decision to turn pro?
I don't know. It was just like informal, really. It just felt like the next logical step. I took a few days after the last fight just to enjoy the fact that I won and everything that happened, and then I was like, I'm not really sure what I want to do next. And then there was not really any amateur opportunities out there for the end of the year. And Guy Ramsey was like, what's next for you, dude? And I was like, I don't know, we could do this, you could do that. And I basically just came out and went, I could maybe like go pro. And he was like, you can't stay amateur forever, dude. And then literally like the day after, Dan Holt messaged like the promoter of Evolution of Combat and being like, can match Reece for his pro debut. Yeah. And Dean was like, what do you think? And I was like, what do you think? And everybody was just like, yeah, like let's make that the next move. And I just got dead excited, and that's how that came about. Yeah, you've been somebody definitely in the Scottish MMA scene people have been excited about for a while. You've fought some tough guys. You've travelled obviously down, fought some guys with far more experience than you. And well, that's another thing. Like for the past, since my 5th fight, I'm probably fighting professional fighters. But like all the people that I fought are professionals without a doubt. I mean, most of them have went pro and they're on winning. They've got winning records. So you're fighting, for me and them, you're fighting professional level guys at amateur. So, and you're doing it for nothing, essentially. So that was another thing. You're like, well, I'm fighting professional people now anyway, so let's do it under the rule set and let it be called for what it actually is.
Yeah. And James, I'll bring you in this one as well. Obviously, you've seen Reece fighting on many occasions as well. You think this is the right time for him to make that switch to pro as well?
Aye, definitely. I think everybody knows he's one of the best amateurs at his weight in the UK, and it's one of the hardest weight classes as well in the UK. It's one of the better ones. So his skill set's there, everything's there. He's got everything in place with his training, his lifestyle factors and everything else. So I think you want to get busy as an amateur like Reece has been, and then try and turn pro a bit earlier. You're seeing all these guys in the UFC now, 21, 22 and stuff like that. Whereas about 5-6 years ago you never seen young people like Max Holloway was in, but it's fairly common now.
Yeah.
Like, you just had that Macy Barber fighting at the weekend, and she'd been harping on about being the youngest champion ever. She's 20-year-old and she's fell short, but every division's got these 20, 21-year-old kids in it now. They're absolute killers. So I think with the successes of the amateur and more importantly the performances, I think once he gets more time to work and allowed to elbow and stuff now as well, especially since Reece, everything will pan out well for him.
And for you as well, Reece, is there a level of excitement leading into this one? Does it feel different for the amateur fights?
Sorry.
No, on you go.
It's like you're just a wee bit more free than you would normally be. Like going into a fight, I've been in the clinch before. I fought Charles Lloyd and I was like, don't kneel him in the head.
Yeah.
And the minute you're restricting yourself, you're just not actually able to put your skills on show. Do you know what I mean? So it's just, you're excited that you've got longer time to fight now, more opportunity to finish people. You can use the tools that you actually train in the gym. You don't need to hold back anymore. So that's just what it's about. Other than that, the training or anything, like nothing really changes. It's just you're a bit more free in there on the night.
Yeah. And that's the other thing as well. You say you've got.
And I got to buy elbow pads. It's for my elbows.
Aye. So you've got, and do you foresee that for yourself in the pro? Do you feel that the opportunities that are now there for you that weren't at amateur to finish fights and that? Do you feel that's something that's going to just add to your game as well?
Yeah, like in a 3-minute round, it's hard to finish somebody because it's hard to break someone down in 3 minutes. See, by the time, even striking wise, like see by the time you suss someone out and the round's over, really. You could take it on to the later rounds, but 5 minutes gives you time to settle, gives you time to suss them out, break them down, and it's almost double the round time. So
Aye. And stylistically for you, just the way you fight with that pressure and getting people down, and just you've got that strong top game as well. It feels that those extra minutes, one, are going to be horrible for the opponent, but are going to suit you because, like you say, it gives you that extra time to capitalise on mistakes or make forced mistakes as well. Yeah,
no, definitely. It's just it's good. 5 minutes is much better as well. You never, in the gym, you don't spar 3-minute rounds either. Like, it's like a sprint, and that's what it genuinely feels like.
Aye.
But the pressure thing's good as well. When you work and you're conditioned to it, you can break people throughout the fight. So you might not get a first round, second round finish. By the third round, you're like, well, my conditioning, that's when your conditioning can start to take over.
Yeah.
So loads of factors play into it. It's good.
I guess the other thing as well is I'm assuming 2020 you're looking to try and get those first few pro fights and first few pro wins, and then we're seeing now across the country guys even 2-0, 3-0 records are getting opportunities in big promotions as well. You must be aware of that there's some big promotions around the UK that potentially there is opportunities with.
Oh, definitely. The opportunities that the people above me that are like fighting Cage Warriors, Bellator, the more people the better for Scottish MMA. So if there's people in those promotions right now, so if you get a good team of Scottish people, and you never know, like they might be tempted to come to Scotland, but it's good for Scotland as well, because your name's in the door. Like the country's in the door, sorry. So it's just about right, we need a Scottish person, like who's next coming up, and there you go.
And in terms of your opponent for this one, obviously your opponent's slightly changed. Won't ask you to say his name, but opponent based in France.
I don't know his name. Genuinely, I don't know it. Like, I just know he's 2-0.
Aye.
But not sure. My original opponent pulled out, and then we had a few. I'll go on a rant here, but a few offers, and I was like, just if you're cool, like I said to Dean or that, I was like, if you're cool with it, just take it. I don't really care. And people will knock you back because you've got a lot of amateur fights apparently.
Well, I mean, you've no really compared to, if you look at guys you fight like Lewis Lee Scott, Mohamed Mokayev, guys like that. I mean, their amateur records are insanely large. Fought out in IMAF and everything, and you were turned down for a fight how many times?
Dan Hope said there's been like 10 people that's turned the fight down.
Hopefully that's not a pattern going forward, trying to get matched.
No, it shouldn't be. It's just that time of year, Valentine's weekend maybe. I don't know, they're busy.
After Christmas, people know what to try and cut to 135.
But it's irrelevant anyway because we've got someone. So find someone from France, which will be good. I've never fought a Frenchman before.
Oh well, first time for everything.
Definitely.
How important, do you really pay much attention to the opponent, or is that something you just leave to your coaches?
Nah, I don't. I said this before in an interview, but I watch their fights when the fight's official, and then I watch them once, and then I'll leave it, and then when my training's done, I'll go back and watch their fights. Like, if you prepare for this, tick, 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 and then I'll put my phone away and be like, right, your training, everything's been prepared for. But you can't invest too much, especially at this stage, because people will pull out. And plus, your training shouldn't be about them; it should be about you. And if they beat you in the night, then they deserve to win, and you take from that what you can. Yeah,
early pro. You've not made your pro debut yet, but you're still. Focus should be still you improving and getting better.
It's different if you're like contracted to an organisation and you know everyone in the division, because you're like, right, there's 30 people in this division. Yeah, that's my potential opponents. But right now it's a free for all.
That's it. So last time you fought was Art of Combat. Obviously won that fight. From that fight to this one, which will be the 15th of February.
Yeah.
How much do you feel you've developed in that space of time?
Yeah, I just feel like it's so cliched, but I'm actually trying to avoid saying it because it feels like I'm saying the same thing all the time, but I feel like I'm a totally different fighter. Like the way I strike, the way I grapple, just doing different things and doing better things, and the way I trade and the way I speak or think or eat, everything's just improved. But it is very cliched, but if you're not saying that, then something's going wrong behind the scenes.
I guess it's kind of what we're talking about for the bodybuilding aspect of things. You're improving show to show, you're improving fight to fight. So the aim has got to be every time you're getting better. Of course, better than you were before.
If you said that about like doing like fight camps. If you were like, right, I'll only do 10-week fight camps and then I'll chill out 10-week fight camps and I'll chill. You get no time to improve. Like you make your improvements out with the training camp, and then all the training camp does is tailor everything. So it's like, right, see all the work you've done, right, let's put that into a focus, put this into a wee ball, and then we'll put it out there to show.
I guess that's something you must see in the gym for fighters that are in a similar position to these guys that are at that amateur level but just about to go pro. Is at this stage in their career, is that when you're going to see the biggest improvements and the biggest jumps from fight to fight?
What I tend to find is I've got like a toddler in the house. I've got a 15-month old boy, and he's learning on a daily basis. He's doing shit now this week that he wasn't doing last week. And for my older kid, it was the same up to about 3.5. It was sometimes you're like, how the fuck does he know how to do that, or how's he figured that out? He's moving stuff from one side of the room to the other so he can climb up. He knows how to open the blinds so he can open the window and shout at the dogs and stuff. And like, fighters are like that as well. When they first come in the gym, their learning curve for the first 2 years is massive. Like you can see them picking stuff up, and then there's a gradual progress where it just starts to slow down. The same as everyone else. Once you've been immersed in something for so long, it becomes about the details and making everything about the individual. Everyone has to be specific to that individual and add and stuff. But generally, when fighters stop learning, it's time for them to walk away, because the game is still evolving and it's progressing super quick. We've got guys in here I've advised to stop. Like I was like, you're not getting any better in 6 months, 7 months. You're like a finished article now as a fighter and people are figuring it out. You should maybe think about doing something else. It's important that they bring something new to the table every single time they fight, and then this is on I kind of dialed into it really, really early with Joanne, because she was coming for this elite level Thai boxing background, so everybody's like, this is this girl with a striking background. So I was like, let's go out in this fight and don't stand in a Thai stance. You're going to fight with your lead hand down, you're going to keep your shoulder in a certain position, and when people shoot on you, you've got an underhook there ready, And when they shoot on the underhook, lift him up and knee him in the face. And it was like, you're trying to show something different every fight. And we had a good run where we were doing that. Like she brought out the elbows in the fight against the girl for Team Quest, and other fights she wouldn't clinch. She's strong in the clinch. But once you start showing your hand and it's the same shit all the time, you become predictable. And in this sport, when you're predictable, you're beatable. It's why Floyd Mayweather's so good, because nobody's found a blueprint to beat him.
Totally.
Once somebody finds a blueprint, it's like a cheat code in a game. There's like, I know how to beat that guy.
Yeah.
It makes it easy. So it's important for me from my point of view, when I'm coaching, is that guys are adding new wrinkles to their game. It doesn't have to be massive, but it's subtle. But if you've got an eye for the game or the sport, you'll see it. But once they stop, it's like everything else. Once you start evolving, you're dead. Once you become stagnant. In this sport, when you're dead, you're in trouble. Like people are going to hurt you publicly in front of a lot of eyes. People are going to smash you to bits, and the mental baggage and stuff that comes with that is not very nice. So it's something to keep in mind if you're a fighter. Just keep learning, keep progressing.
You do see that even at the highest level, in the UFC level. You'll see a guy who's been really dominant, he'll lose one fight, and then you'll see him start to spiral and things. And I used
to call it the GSP. I see it as soon as GSP beat somebody, they'd lose their next fight. He sussed them out, he put the blueprint. Same with Woodley and Lawler.
Aye.
Like they get that first loss and then people bait off that.
It's like Pettis that kind of happened to Pettis. He's
still doing the same things, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just staying the
up
same,
against the
evolving.
fence.
A lot of the guys are heavily dependent on athleticism, which goes with age as well. So when they're not smart enough to start substituting technique for athleticism, as it starts to deteriorate, they're fucked. And unfortunately, that's the game.
I think the more, I kind of got a cheek saying this because I'm not really trained that long compared to a lot of people, but the more you train, the more you appreciate the wee details. Like your first couple of years, you know what a jab across a hook, like a knee kick takedown is, but then the more you train, you're like, oh, that's how I could throw it. I could throw it here and I could throw it there, and like all the shots remain the same. It's just when and why am I throwing them, and that's the kind of part that you're always intrigued about. And every day you should come away from the gym being like, I never knew that before. How did I not know that?
I'm assuming specific to you though, because you must get that with training different fighters, and I'm assuming it's the same in bodybuilding. Everything's unique to the person then.
It has to be.
So like you've got to cater things to each person.
It has to be for the physical aspect through to the psychology. As a coach, you need to figure out how to bond with the person, how to put information across, how to read them. And every single person's different. Like guys who coach everybody the exact same way don't do very well.
Yeah.
Like it's like a cookie cutter approach to coaching. They maybe put one or two guys who've been successful despite their poor coaching, but the guys who are consistently putting out champions or high level guys they're not coaching like that. It's all individual and sport, like specific to the individual, and everyone's respective to that individual.
See how like most people take like 15 to 18 months for their debut. Do you feel you've sussed them out by then, or do you have like a time?
Some people you can suss out in 2 weeks, and then other people, there's guys in here I'm still trying to suss out. They've been here for 10 years. And I'm like, look, Shanks.
Everybody's watching this. Everybody's watching this. I've been trained here for 10 years. Like, is that me?
I'm still trying to get my head around about Luke Shanks. He's fucking moved to another country to train here, and he comes in and I'm just like, what is he doing?
Aye. Luke Shanks is.
You should get an application form, like tell me your good things and your bad things and work them out before you beat them.
It's not the fighting stuff. I know he's doing there. He's very good at that, which is why he's got a world title fight in March. But it's everything else, the way he dresses, the way
I'll say one thing about Luke. He's got a very unique style.
I think he's done more in Scotland than I've done in Scotland, and I've been here my whole life.
Aye, to be fair, old Luke's been through Edinburgh. I was going to say Grindr there, but I better not say that about Luke. What's the other one? The sweet test,
Tinder.
Tinder. Sorry, Luke, I didn't mean to say Grindr. I'm not insinuating.
I follow him on Instagram and I'm like, where's this place? Like, where's he found this and how has he found that? That's always pretty nice.
Sometimes, but see when you obviously live here, so you can get a wee bit. You don't pay attention to everything that's going on around about you. So coming here from the outside, maybe just appreciate it a bit more.
No, I know. I went to New York. I went and done. It's quite sad, but I went to see the 9/11 memorial, and the guys I was with never been before. They lived in New York all their life. Yeah, they're like, it's just always there. So we'll go eventually.
That's something as well for the fighting side of things. And I'm assuming this will be relevant to bodybuilding as well. Is there a lot of travel involved, or is that one of the perks of potentially being in bodybuilding? You get to see the world and experience different things.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to travelling.
Right.
But travel's a lot of stress.
Yeah.
Our last competition was in the Bahamas. So we went to Toronto first, and then down to the Bahamas second. But travelling over 2.5 days, like factoring in the altitude as well, and the fact that you can't cook your own meals, and the stress that and the fluid retention from flying, travelling, stress, everything just builds up.
Do you get that? When I got away, I was in Singapore, Canada, and some other places last year, but Lindsay thinks I'm away in a boys' holiday when I'm away. I'm in a hotel with a crab fighter who can't eat, has to go to bed early, has to train. And then see, I'm wondering if there's an English fucking TV channel in these hotels and Wi-Fi. I'm like, happy days. But Lindsay thinks I'm away. She's like, oh, it must be nice being in Singapore. I'm like, it's fucking brilliant listening to Stevie snoring and making sure he doesn't get up during the night and fuck off and eat something.
My girlfriend, I went to New York to train, and like New York's her dream place, and she's like, oh, you can't believe you're going there without me. I was like, you could come, but I'm in the gym morning and night. I literally never seen one thing in 2 weeks. I basically wasn't in New York, I was in a gym.
Yeah, that's the same with the Bahamas.
Did you know everybody?
The idea springs to mind, but I was in this shithole Airbnb, rolling power cuts, cockroaches. The heat is indescribable. So losing fluid as well as trying to balance out by taking more fluid on, losing salt, and it was all just went.
Turned into a hurry.
It all went tits up, and I ended up finishing 5th. I was one of the favourites to win, and the whole thing just came down on top of me.
One of the times you miss the Scottish climate.
Oh yeah, I like training in the dark in the winter.
You say Bahamas, and you think, oh, that'd be lovely. Then you start throwing in cockroaches and Airbnbs.
I'll never go back. I hate the place.
Did you ever cut weight flying? Like waterloading?
Talked about it a few times. The Japan one we talked about the last episode.
So you did actually.
Did you not see the pictures of him and Paul McVeigh?
Oh yeah, that
was Dallas Buyer Club.
Well, usually hydrating at that point.
I took my own water on the plane, but I think I only took a litre, and somehow I came off the plane like 4 kilos heavier than I went on it. I never ate anything, I just drank.
That's disgusting. Hold up, was that before you made weight?
I think we landed on the Thursday. I had to make weight on the Friday.
Well, what was it going to cost you if you didn't make weight? $6,000 if you didn't make weight?
That's right, I mean, just saying.
It was about £8,000,
I think it was your Paul. I think Paul was saying that, like, who was lighter? He had like 500 grams more, and you were walking by him and he's like, oh, I hate you. That's a lot. It doesn't seem a lot, but it's a lot at that point.
It made it easier that he was there doing it, because we made it into like a competition, but it just seemed to, he's got more muscle than me. Paul's a bit bulkier, so he seemed to be giving up the water quicker. I'm just like skinning hair, so I was like, this fucking water's not coming out. But it definitely made it easier. The 2 was doing it, but the flying, and it was just the travelling shit for your body. It's not good for you. I don't know how people can fly all the time. I hate it. And then
your sleep goes as well.
Your sleep, the time differences, the altitude, like you're saying, the water. It's every time I went to America for like the corner and stuff, I'd come back just fully salt. Even when you're going to Whole Foods and stuff, they just put shit in the food everywhere that you're not used to.
That's twice I've competed abroad, man. Twice I've washed out, like far abroad.
So it was Bahamas. Where was the other one you said?
I've been in New York as well.
Well, I'm assuming New York surely couldn't have been as bad as Bahamas.
It wasn't as bad as the Bahamas, but taking into consideration, James is right. The fresh food is still salted to bits.
So it's just terrible.
They don't tell you that though.
There's a reason all those Americans are big and fat. Like
you're just looking in the mirror, going, something's gone wrong somewhere. I've done this to the gram, and I look not great.
Do you feel like when you're like, before you weigh yourself, you're like, I think I'm this weight? Do you know what I mean? Or like you're like, I've not lost weight today or this week, or I've put it on or something like that.
Everything's so minor, like details. So
the small things can make such a big difference, I'm assuming.
Big time. So I know my body inside out. I can tell by just the skin in the stomach.
Yeah.
If it stretches 3 inches, I'm good. If it stretches 1, I'm fucked.
Fucking hell. That's mental.
I just go by my cheeks. If my cheeks are chubby, I've got a wee bit. go. It's the first thing they go like this. Or my mum was like, son, you're so skinny. Every fight.
My mum was the same.
Right, I get it.
So do you ever get like, so we had Sean on here, obviously he was talking about people offering him like, I think it's his Mrs. Gran offering him biscuits and stuff like that, saying, don't worry, nobody will know about it, and obviously he's in the process of weight cutting. That doesn't matter, who knows if he takes it on. Do you ever, is there MD like that round about you have to say, look, you need to fuck off?
Nah, it's my aunt, nobody offers me anything, but my aunt was like, I went to drop tickets off to her 6 days before that fight there, and like 6 days out, that's when everything's like super strict and scientific. So she was like, can you not even have like a wee bit of bread? Can you not even have like an apple? And I was like, no, I don't want anything. Like, and it's like, she's trying to be a nice host, and I'm like, no, please just leave me alone.
She's slowly torturing you, telling you all the things that you can't have.
Yeah, but at that point your tolerance is away, so you're like, you can feel your eyes like, stop, you need to stop asking me because I'm going to snap in a minute.
Punch you in the face.
I know, it's the tolerance for me that goes away. The last few days I'm okay up until about, still I start like drinking 10 litres of water, then it's like my tolerance just goes.
So you're just not a patient person to be around?
No, it's like if I say something, it's like, it's always my mum. She's like, what'd you say? I'm like, I'm not repeating myself. I just look away. Not doing it.
Cool.
I just tell everybody to avoid me the last few days.
It's a good idea.
And how are you during that process of you?
I'm the same.
Just pretty crab it, miserable, leave you alone.
My flatmate, I went back one time 10 days out. Obviously this is where it gets serious, and he'd cooked me the chicken and sweet potato. He was like, I've cooked you this. I was like, oh, amazing, thank you so much. So I ate it. It tasted great. I went out to do my cardio, man, and halfway through the cardio I felt great. It was the best I felt in months, and it just clicked. I was like, something's not right. I can't feel as good this all of a sudden. So I went in and I was like, wait, what would you put in that meal? He was like, oh, nothing, didn't salt or anything. I was like, so show me the sweet potatoes, where are they? And he's like, oh, they're in the freezer. And I was like, what you put sweet potatoes in the freezer for? So I went in and there was a bag of like processed sweet potato chips from Aldi. And I just looked and I was in silence. It was about 4 times the calories from the meal. And then he was like, have I fucked up? And he was like, you should just leave the flat, mate. And honestly, just go.
How close was he physical harm at that moment?
3 meals I had to stop.
He's getting kidney punches.
He was
getting launched in the Clyde.
The kidney punch and all sorts.
Do you know what, like, people will be watching this being like, by a bunch of psychos, man, like, so I did that.
I think the bodybuilders are, I competed in cage fights for about 12 years.
I thought you were going to say
I think bodybuilders are worse than fighters. I'm like, why the fuck would they do that to themselves?
Do you know what the thing is for you? Like, I feel for you is like, I know that this is like a lifestyle and you do it all year round, but I don't need to track my food like X amount of time. I just need to make the weight, get back up to what I do, and then I can fight. I know that's a pure diminish like what actually goes into it, whereas you
have to find the finest line between cutting your fat to the lowest it can go without cutting any tissue or as little tissue as possible.
So it must just be, there must be a real science in it. Have you had to study a lot to know, and obviously you know your own body, but is there a lot that goes into your studying, and do you get help from the outside who helps you as well?
Yeah, of course, I can't do this on my own. There's at least 2 or 3 people in my corner.
Yeah.
That's why when I do the things, I'll never say I did it. I always say we.
Yes, it's just a team. And is there a lot of trial and error as well you've found?
Yeah. You can win a show 1 hour later and lose it 1 hour before.
Yeah.
It's timing to the minute.
Just getting your body at that exact moment. That's mad.
It's tough, man.
What's your sort of body fat percentage? What are you getting that down to before you go out on stage? What are you...
I mean, on the calipers, it goes off the scale, so you assume probably about 3 to 4%.
It's crazy.
But it's at the stage where the skin's no longer binding with the muscle.
Yeah,
so you can pull it right out.
So it's almost like translucent, almost, where you can see the muscle.
Yeah, it's borderline see-through. You can see like the connective tissue between the abs sometimes, but you have to get really, really lean.
I mean, you must be physically getting yourself close to death doing that.
It must be somewhat close to organ failure at some points. But it's just, I mean, that's the best part of it. It's the suffering is the best part.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy the suffering, and you have to know it's there for a reason. You have to make sure that, if you can figure out that no one else can suffer as much, then it's a good feeling.
I think people watching this will probably be thinking there is definitely a certain level of insanity involved. You've got to be slightly not surely to do it.
It's just people always go, I don't know how you do it. Well, it's just the process. You know, you've got an end goal, and you've got a starting point, and you have to go through whatever to get to the end goal, and that's it. That's the way you justify it.
I guess if you flip that on the other side though, like without trying to talk bad about anyone, like after like everybody's like new year, new me, I'm going to start my diet on Monday. Like everybody wants that intention. So like everyone always says, like, I don't know how you do it. But then on the flip side, they're like, I wish I could do it, but like everyone can. It's just your priorities
mental strength, I suppose.
If it's part of your job to have a good healthy lifestyle and be strict, it's half the battle because you're sort of forced into it and you enjoy it. But the reality is, a lot of people like have that intention of doing it. So
it's the first time ever I've used, like when I went to the Worlds, the Bahamas, and I lost. I lost badly, and I suppose 5th in the world is not bad, but I wanted to win it. And because I had to go from one competition preparation to the next without stopping, it was 6 months I was dieting. But even though I suffered for pretty much 3 times longer than I usually would, remembering that feeling of losing in any sport is one of your biggest motivations I've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, looking at for the MMA side of things, that's something that's said a lot. Sometimes you learn more in your losses. I mean, it's something I've spoke to you about. Obviously, when you went down south and you'd lost the fight,
totally.
You learn a lot in your losses. So it's the exact same in that ultimately that experience in Bahamas a lot of time is horrible.
Yeah.
Going forward, it could be something that benefits you.
It was the worst feeling in the whole world, and if I could look over the preparation for what I was doing, and at any point did I take my foot off the gas, or any point did I miss a certain thing or not put in the effort, even that one single thing could have led to me losing that. So the next time you do it, you make sure that you can't have these feelings anymore. Just and at the level you're reaching, that just the margins are so small that you have to make those adjustments every time. So you could say the loss was probably the best thing.
It's mentality as well. Like when somebody wins something, it's a positive outcome. I've won it. I won my fight. But when they lost it, like when they lose, you're like, it's a negative word. So people think, right, if it's negative, how can I address it and how can I change it and how can I improve it? But the reality is, it should be the same of both. Like there should be things to improve and you should celebrate both. It sucks.
Yeah.
Or you feel it sucks losing, or you feel on top of the world when you win. But the reality is, in a few days, the emotions run away and you have to observe what went right and what could have been done better in any sport, I think.
You're right.
So see, as a fighter, then obviously you went undefeated for a long time in your amateur career. When you suffered that first loss at amateur, do you feel you analysed the fight more looking back than you did over your wins? Was there any change for your point of view as a fighter?
No, there's been fights where I don't like watching because I feel sick watching it. I'm like, nah, I didn't perform the way I should have performed there. The fight that I lost, it was a good performance. The guy was just, he was one step ahead of me, and that was it. At that moment in time, that was the best I was at that night. So I took a lot of satisfaction away from it, but it was just a feeling that like you seen in the camera, and it was just more so taking in everything that was happening for the first time. Yeah. Like you seen his hands get raised, you had to walk through the people that came down to see you, and everybody saying sorry, and loads of people messaging saying it was like although it was good, but like gutted for you, and just like things like that. So it was more so nothing changed in reviewing the fight. It was just like, I say this, but I mean it, like celebrating feeling things for the first time. So when it happens again, you're like, I know what's happening, and
that's
you going from there, because the bigger picture is the fight and the performance, and
that's it.
And what came on after it.
Aye. And for your point of view as a coach, James, when you see a fighter lose, I know you've said that about obviously Mark Ewan there. He was on a run, he was steamrolling guys, and then obviously had the fight. Didn't lose the fight, but he drew. Do you feel that was something that could ultimately benefit him?
Aye, definitely. And he's learned lessons for that. There's a couple technical mistakes that it'd actually been highlighted the fight before when he fought at Made for the Cage against a Russian kid. He got pinged he got countered where he threw a left hand, the guys threw a right over the top, and it was similar to the shots he got hurt with on the second fight with the Swedish kid. But the difference between the Russian guy threw one and then left it at that, and March came back and dropped him, whereas the Swedish kid hurt him with the first one and then chased it up. So there was a technical error there with retraction and stuff of the shot and recoil of the shot that we've been making amends on in the gym. It's a tiny wee thing that most guys will not see, but it's definitely there. And we're in the process of training that out now. What Stu was saying there, Mark came back for that fight. Mark had visualised that fight in his head 100 times, and it was always about him getting his hand raised. And he was back in the gym because he never got the win. And it wasn't a loss as such, but it wasn't a performance he was wanting. Yeah. And he's back in the gym hungrier than ever. And when you associate that feeling, he losing and stuff like that, and everything that goes with it, it's a very powerful motivator, because he'll know what to feel that again. Yeah. And he'll do everything in his power to kind of make sure that he doesn't feel that again.
So it's almost like guys seem to get an extra gear when something like that happens.
Some guys will, some guys it'll break them, it'll fuck them. But if it's used right, it's a massive springboard. And at amateur level, and even at pro level, like, everybody's going to lose in fighting. Nobody's going to go undefeated fighting the right people or fighting in the right shows and stuff. There's maybe the kind of 0.0001% guys who might get away with it, but it means a lot of times it means they're taking the right fights at the right time and stuff. But everybody in here is encouraged to take those things as learning experiences and to press forward with it. If they learn from it, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it is. It's a hard thing to take when you've put your life and soul into something. And you come up short, but it's life, isn't it? It's how it's going to work.
That's it. You have your ups, you have your downs, and you just hopefully have more ups and downs.
It's like a wee bit of a mental thing that goes into it as well. It's like your first fight, you don't want to lose your first fight, and then you're like, I don't want to go 0-2, I don't want to go 0-3, I don't want to lose two fights on the bounce. But it's just like James said, it's good to have whatever triggers you to be motivated. I think that's the right answer.
See, coming off a loss as well, it's just something you mentioned there. Is that one of the hardest things? It's sometimes not the actual fight itself, it's speaking to the family and stuff like that. Maybe sometimes you speak to, like, I remember somebody said to me, like, after the fight happened, I knew I never done enough. I knew I was like, I've not beat him. Plus, it's not that would have made a factor, but plus it was his show. Because you had a very good first round. I just felt afterwards, I was like, there's a lot of mixture things. I genuinely thought he won, even if I watched it back. I still thought he won 2 rounds to 1. So afterwards, I was like I knew I lost then. And somebody said you should have kept your head up and look confident. But it's just maybe wee comments like that. You're like, yeah, you coulda, shoulda, woulda. Like,
people that know the sport don't comment like that. But totally. I watched that fight. I thought you lost. I thought 3 5s would have suited you better with that fight that we're talking about. I think you didn't lose by much. It's like Stu was saying, there's the margin for error and the fine lines at that level. That kid's very, very good. If a couple of sequences had went the other way, he maybe nailed a takedown that he's stuffed, or then you win that fight. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you've had your arse kicked or been outclassed. You've ran out of time. Yeah. If you look at, like, you've got 9 minutes, the clock's beat you more than anything else.
Definitely.
Like, any of the fights I lost, I was always like, especially if I lost on points, I was like, see if there's no time limits here, I'd still be fighting now, and I'd out-endure you. I'd last you. I'd make you quit, because I've just ran out of time in bad positions. I know.
I think you've got to factor in the experience as well in that fight, because there was between yourself and Lewis.
It could have been like my worst thing, but because I'm not saying that's going to happen, but you could say I won that fight, and you're like, right, well, I just beat a guy with 60 more fights than me, and I'm invincible, I'm this, I'm that, I don't need to improve. I'm really exaggerating here, but you could come away from it and think that it could be the worst thing that could happen to you sometimes.
I think with you, but I think the one thing you've obviously got a lot of skill as a fighter and a lot of talent. I think you've obviously got the work ethic as well. How important is that if you've got a guy in the gym who's really talented, his work ethic's not there? How difficult is that to coach?
They're nothing if they don't have work. If they don't have work ethic, they're wasting your time, and their own time. Because the guys that have success, they outwork everybody. There's no secret to it. You work harder than another guy. You work smarter than another guy, and success will come. But if you're lazy at that, you're fucked. Like, there's no hiding place when you get in that cage or in a boxing ring. if the other guy's worked harder than you, it'll show.
Surely mentally it'll show. It's just like you're saying about the suffering as well when you're in bodybuilding. Surely mentally in a fighter, if they've not put the work in,
that's where your confidence comes from. That's where your confidence
Totally.
comes from the fact you know you've not cut any corners. Everything in the prep's been right. It's that thing with Mike Tyson. I'm getting up and running at 5 a.m. because he knows the other guy's in bed, and it's that simple. If you do stuff the other guy's not willing to do, then 9 out of 10 times the rewards will come in your favour.
Before that last fight, I remember like everybody gets nervous, like no matter what extent it is. But I was in my house and I was making something. And Mum was like, "You alright?" I was like, "I'm a wee bit nervous." She's like, "How come?" And I was like, "I know I'm going to win, but I don't know how." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I just know I'm going to win, but the fact that I don't know how it made me nervous." And she just looked at me and she smiled, and I was like, I don't see me losing at all. I've done too much and things have been too good, and the way I've like thinking of the way I can't see him winning at all. And it was the most nervous I ever was for a fight, on the basis that I'm like, I know I'm going to win, but I just no idea how it's going to happen.
You just get that feeling, I guess.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you've got feelings like sometimes you always think you're going to win, but you're like, well, it's a fight, anything could happen, could get dropped or something, whatever. But it's when you put the work in, you just know that's where the confidence does definitely come from.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's it. So just before we let you get out of here, obviously you've your fight coming up on the 15th. That's an evolutionary combat against a French opponent who will remain nameless at the moment.
Yeah,
mainly
like
because
I don't know his name. His name doesn't matter, like we said.
Aye. So it's all about you. So have you
Unless you're
got
from France and you want to come to the fight.
French guys watching this like bastard?
Nah, it's in Mary Hill. If anybody wants to grab a ticket and
Aye.
get something, because it's genuinely looking as if it's going to sell out.
Are you excited about the year ahead, about your first year as a pro? Is it a new excitement to going for the amateur to pro?
It's just, I think the biggest thing for me is my record counts now.
Yeah,
like, amateur, of course, it was cool to have a record. You went 0 and 8, but I think now like your record stands for something. Like you can say to a promotion, or like a promotions are going to sign you and you're paying. There's so much that goes into the back of having a good strong record at professional.
That's it. It's a bit, then again, you can have an impressive record at professional. When you dig in deep, it's not as impressive.
Oh no, totally, definitely.
Fortunately, it's not boxing where you need to be 30 or whatever.
Oh yeah. But that's when you spoke about at the start about like promotion scene things. That's when they start recognising and they look at your record.
Absolutely.
Whereas some people's amateur records don't actually represent how good they are, because they've literally faced everybody they could have.
Well, it's a big year ahead for you, and for you as well, Stu. 2020, what have you got coming up in terms of?
My off season starts March 3rd,
right?
And for the time being, ironically, I'm off to Thailand for the next 5 weeks to do a Muay Thai camp.
Oh, nice!
Right, cool. So, what you looking for that? I know, right at the end. So, is it you're looking for whereabouts in Thailand? You doing the Muay Thai camp?
You know where that Tiger Muay Thai place is? It's there.
Yeah. So have you been out there done anything like this before?
Yeah, I did it for a couple of weeks last year. I loved it.
So just out there and another form of torture?
Yeah, just out there getting leathered by these wee...
Yeah, just small Thai guys tripping you, beating the shit out of your legs and that.
I'm looking forward to it. I said to Andy when we come back, I wanted to do some fighting as well. So we do like an actual fight. But
yeah, that was going to be my next question.
I've always wanted to do it.
Is it more you got to think about Thai, or would you maybe even think about coming in here, get some grappling and potentially MMA?
Be careful though, because I'm obviously very heavy.
Aye.
That's an advantage most of the
time. Aye.
That's right. I'm sure James will get plenty of heavy guys.
Aye, some of the heavy guys in MMA I'm sure they're not physically as imposing as you.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm strong, but my fighting weight at my leanest possible would probably be about 95 kilos. I don't know where that slots in.
How was it the first time you took a leg kick or that from a Thai? How was that?
Have you ever been out to Thailand? Mm-hmm. They're not fucking about. Like,
No.
If you make one mistake, they'll just batter you.
Yeah.
It's because you're big and muscle. They're all right with me.
Make a pure example of me. Everybody.
That's it. It's just because you're walking in ripped and massive, the wee ties. Aye.
And they're like jab cross, and before the jab's back, they're like belting you with a pad. You asked me for a jab.
I
was going right. I quite liked it.
The ties are notorious for having a few fags.
But you learn quickly.
Aye, well, that's it. You get to learn fast.
You don't make a mistake, or you'll get hit.
Well, there you go. There's an exclusive at the end of the show. So we may see you in a cage or a ring sometime soon.
I'd love that. It'd be class.
Well, there you go.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Reece is going to bodybuilding.
Reece is going to bodybuilding. He's about to start eating fish and rice cakes as we speak.
I eat rice cakes every day, so I'm halfway there. With peanut butter.
Right, well, listen, guys, thanks very much for coming on the show. We appreciate it. And everybody, thanks for tuning in. Just remember, subscribe to the channel and leave us some comments as well. Cheers.